Morgan becomes the #1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship, Doudrop turns heel attacking Bianca Belair, Mickie James defends her title against Madison Rayne, Nexus Mercedes Martinez, and Mandy Rose is looking to clean up the remnant of previous era of NXT, Io Shirai. Welcome to Beer and Bell. This is DS and this is Women's Wrestling Weekly Recap. Let's jump right into Raw. So we got one match and one segment that came before it. So it was a backstage segment with Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce announcing to the women's locker room the participant of the Survivor Series elimination match. The participants were actually announced during the weekend, and from what I heard, a lot of the superstars learned the news as we did, so it was a lot of surprise to them too, and I'm sure there was a lot of unhappy people in real life. And on Raw, they brought that into a storyline. So obviously people who are not included in the team, Nikki ASH, which was kind of shocked given that she's recent former WWE Raw Women's Champion, but also Dana Brooke and Doudrop were not very happy about it. Obviously, as we saw, Doudrop being unhappy about Bianca Belair being included in this match, this unhappiness is going into a storyline of Doudrop turning heel. But it was really sad seeing Dana Brooke talking about the opportunity, because when is her opportunity coming out?
Opportunities. I've been
contract.
Enough.
Maybe she'll join forces with Doudrop and maybe help her go against Bianca Belair. Maybe that's the direction for her. I love these kind of segments because it shows each individual's character. It's great for character development, so I'm satisfied. Okay, so the match we saw was Fatal 5-Way match with the people from the Raw Survivor Series team, and this was a #1 contendership for Becky Lynch's Raw Women's Championship. We saw Becky Lynch come out with this interesting look. It was more like a Spartan hair, I'm not exactly sure. Looking fabulous. And Becky did her best to really put over Liv Morgan throughout this whole commentary throughout this match. She talked about how everyone in this match has some kind of accolades, from Rhea Ripley, the first ever NXT UK champion, to Zelina Vega, the Queen, Carmella, the Money in the Bank, but like Liv got nothing. So she did a pretty good job talking shit about Liv Morgan for us to root for her. Before talking about the Fatal 5-Way match, I want to thank our sponsor, GEMSTONE Legend. This is a game I've been obsessed for the last couple of weeks. I'm like playing all the time because you know I'm all obsessed with the badass women, but on top of that, dragons, fairies, you know I'm kind of a cool nerd like that. So I'm really into this RPG puzzle game. So this is one of the coolest puzzle RPG game of 2021, where you swipe around to line up the gemstone with the same color. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But what's great about this game is that it's not like most puzzles, because you get to play with your favorite characters. So you get to pick 5 heroes like Survivor Series goes, form a team and you fight with them, and each individual character has like different signature moves, and they have like different colors and like the strength and weakness that goes into it, and have Pokemon like that in this sense. Just like how Trish Stratus has Stratisfaction, they have that signature move, which is like really cool graphic. Also, you get to collect artifacts throughout the game, and then you can customize them into your characters. Characters that are like really cool character. I'm still working to get that Egyptian goddess. They're like female warriors, the queens, the fairies. It's like really cool. Their reviews are also very good at both iOS and Google Play stores. Download this game right now using this QR code, and thanks to GEMSTONE Legend, they sent everyone who downloads using this QR code a special welcome package, which is about a $50 amount of goodies, including this really cute healer Morelia, who's going to be helping out throughout your journey in this game. You will get this welcome gift after you're done with the tutorial. So again, download the game, play with me using this QR code or the link in the description or the pinned comment. She's not like most puzzles. I do miss Nia Jax already. This match, it was kind of chaotic. I would not say the flow was that great, but some of the moments I loved they teased Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley a lot. Zelina's tornado DDT to Rhea Ripley, and Rhea sold the heck out of it. It was awesome. I also continue to really enjoy Carmella and Zelina's partnership, and my favorite part was when Carmella went 1, 2, 1, 2,
Queen!
1, 2,
kick out!
The end of the match was when it got really fun. Rhea Ripley hits Riptide on Bianca Belair. Liv Morgan hits Oblivion. Zelina stops it. Bianca about to pick up the win from Zelina Vega. Doudrop comes in, attacks Bianca Belair. Heel turn, wearing that pink, cute, fuzzy skirt where she looks like that killing robot girl from Squid Game, but the pink version of that. I wonder if she's gonna keep that aesthetic, but also at the same time, I would not be mad about the whole reset. Get rid of the name Doudrop, become Viper. If Randy Orton's not okay with it, be Piper Niven. I also like this finish because it doesn't make Bianca Belair or Rhea Ripley look that weak. The Liv Morgan picks up the win from Carmella, and the whole chaotic mess at the end, it was so fun. And finally, well, I mean, it's like the worst time to get the #1 contendership push because it's Survivor Series time. And I think it's kind of unlikely that she will replace Becky Lynch. If that happens and if Liv goes against Charlotte Flair, that would be amazing. But that seems a little unlikely. I'm happy for Liv. I just hope this push continues throughout after Survivor Series. I don't want to be too hopeful about this right now because I don't want to be heartbroken again. But overall, super excited for Liv Morgan's future. I'll say satisfied. Alright, so let's jump to NXT 2.0. NXT 2.0 episode starts with Mandy Rose, the new NXT Women's Champion, opening up the show, and she goes, "Damn, I'm hot." She's talking about how she's the best looking NXT Women's Champion in the history of NXT, and how she's still the baddest bitch around here. And then she wonders, like, where are my girls? And then we cut to backstage where Gigi and JC are attacking Zoe Stark backstage. Now back in the ring, we see Io Shirai coming out to challenge Mandy Rose, and then Mandy Rose blind attacks her, saying that this is NXT 2.0, she's not afraid of Io Shirai, this is not the NXT that Io used to dominate. And JC and Gigi comes out to the ring to help out Mandy Rose, but who comes to save Io Shirai? It is a TikTok tag team. Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter come out to help Io Shirai, which sets up for a 6-women tag match next week on NXT. After this segment is over, Toxic Attractions runs into Dakota Kai, who tells them that she didn't help Toxic Attraction, she was just there to get rid of Raquel Gonzalez. Later in the show, we also see Gigi and JC kind of flirt with Imperium. It's really interesting to see Mandy Rose going against Io Shirai, especially given that Mandy Rose, it seems like, is representative of where NXT is going with the 2.0, this rebranding, and Io Shirai is such a star of the original NXT. It's interesting to see them clash. Mandy screaming, "This is NXT 2.0, I'm not scared of you," kind of seemed meta.
This ain't the old NXT, honey. This is NXT 2.0.
That is exactly what's happening with NXT, and we saw someone like Ember Moon and Taya Valkyrie, Frankie Monet, got released from WWE contracts seemingly because they don't fit the whole rebranding of 2.0 NXT. Stratified, we saw a match between Dakota Kai versus Cora Jade, and this was nothing really clicked for some reason. A lot of things just did not work, but what added to the whole weirdness of the situation was that Dakota's new character is very aloof, unpredictable. So Dakota won this match in 2 minutes with the corner kick, very devastating. But after winning this match, she lays out Cora Jade and puts a table on top of her. She's like thinking about attacking her, but she's not. It was just like, it was like kind of awkward, but at the same time, it's like so bizarre and weird that it is kind of scary. It looks like Dakota is kind of like out of it all. And the match was all over the place, so I kind of believe that she was like out of it. I like it, so I'll just say I'm Confucius. What happened here? And then we had this very weird episode of Lashing Out with Lash Legend. Very weird episode because they had the guest Tony D'Angelo, and he was like a weird, threatening, made me uncomfortable watching it. And then Lash Legend was just like sitting there like, what the hell is going on? It was a different format of Lashing Out and Lash Legend, but I do still believe that this is a different way of telling a story and introducing character from more of a traditional backstage promo or backstage interview segment, so I do like it. So, satisfying. Alright, so AEW Dynamite time. We saw one match part of the TBS Championship Tournament. It was Jamie Hayter and Anna Jay. The match wasn't long, and this match, Jamie Hayter surprisingly picked up the win with a lariat, which was more of a clothesline. I feel like I have to see how she usually hits it, because here, I did not think this would be a finisher, because it was just a clothesline. It did not look like a finisher. It looked like a regular clothesline. But the commentary was like, oh my god, that was a big lariat! That was a huge... No, it was not. So that finisher was definitely questionable. I think the match itself was fine. Anna Jay, given her experience, I think she's very good, and you can visibly see her improve from match to match. So even from her last match, I mean, it wasn't a better match than that, but you could see that she's improving with how she wrestled in the ring. But again, it was surprising to see her lose, but it does make sense given the tournament bracket, because the winner of this match will have to face Thunder Rosa. And I think Jamie Hayter needed this win, because at this point, she's Britt Baker's goon, who takes losses for her. Her return was the close of the first ever Rampage episode, and after that, it's been downhill, so I'm glad that she has this win. She will probably lose to Thunder Rosa. So this match was meh for me. Meh. So after this match, AEW went with their favorite way of storytelling, where the heels start beating down a face, and then who comes out? Of course, Tay Conti comes out. And then that's their build for Full Gear. Tay Conti versus Britt Baker. And then when the number game gets Team TJ, we saw Thunder Rosa come out to help. AEW really have to figure out a different way of storytelling, because this is like 95% of their storytelling. Heel beats down face after a match, and a random face backstage comes out to save them. All the time. And now let's go to Impact Wrestling, and we saw Inspiration just thriving there, because what are they good at? Comedy. They're so good at character, they're so good at segments. They got 2 segments here. So the first segment, we saw Inspiration come to join the locker room talk hosted by Madison Rayne. Madison Rayne was asked if she has a locker room talk, and she was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So basically it was a trick by Decay. So Decay invited Inspiration to this fake locker room talk interview and then just scared them. And because they got so creeped out about Decay, they went to go find another creepy people, Undead Brides, Kimberly and Brandy Lauren, and asked if they would take care of Decay. And they're like, I guess our mother needs more soul to eat. They're collecting souls for Su Young. I wonder where she's at. I'm seeing her at big event next weekend, so I'm curious what she's up to. So next week we're gonna see Decay versus the Undead Brides. I think the production quality can be a little better, especially. I realize that lighting could be a real issue with Impact Wrestling when it comes to some segments. It's either they're like super exposed, or like in this case, there was like just pitch darkness. The content itself from Kessie and Jesse was top notch. It was super fun, and I'm so glad that they have full range to whatever they want. And it's really cool to see them interact with Decay and the Undead Brides, because they're all really fun characters to interact with. So I love it, I love it. Stratified. And then we saw a knockout championship match between Mickie James and Madison Rayne. And this is Mickie's first title defense. And if you think about it, Mickie James versus Madison Rayne, both multi-time knockouts champion, both future Impact Hall of Famers, I don't doubt. It was a very high-profile match, and it looked like it. The match itself was more of a weekly TV show match. It was good, it was very good. Throughout the match, Caleb with the K was keep interfering and like bugging Mickie James, so at the end she goes out, she takes care of Caleb with the K, throws him into the stair, which was great, and then she comes in and finishes the match, picks up the win with the Luthez press from the top rope. I mean, this match was more of a weekly match, and I know that both of these women have had better matches, and I'm sure if they are given more like a pay-per-view kind of a build, they will do a bigger match, but this was more of a light, fun, storyline-driven match. Satisfied, but after this match, we saw Mercedes Martinez, the Knockouts Knockdown tournament winner, come out, and she praises Mickie James. I mean, just seeing two of them together gives me chills, because they're like the legends. And then Mercedes Martinez says she's coming for that Knockouts title at Turning Point. So that match is coming up. Super, super exciting. I am so excited for this match. Super satisfied. Alright, let's go back to AEW for Rampage. We had another TBS Championship Tournament match. This time, Red Velvet versus the Bunny. You already know that I freaking love Red Velvet. And of the two matches from AEW this week, this was definitely a better match in my book, because Red Velvet has so much intensity. Like, just the way she moves, there's so much charisma and just intensity just oozing out of her, and you can see that from every move that she hits. I freaking love Red Velvet. And that meaning the Bunny, who's a master of amazing faces. I love her angry bunny face. She also has some really, really devastating moves in her arsenal, especially that move when she like kicks an opponent into the turnbuckle. That looks like it's gonna break someone's spine. Like, it looks so good. I really like this match, but again, it was like a very short match. In this match, Red Velvet picks up the win with her finisher, Final Slice. After this match, Red Velvet has a little staring contest with Jade Cargill, who was watching the match outside, because that's the one she'll be facing next in this tournament. The match was cute, satisfied. I do want to mention though, because I skipped last week's review, I loved both matches from AEW Women's Division last week. That Serena Deeb versus Hikaru Shida match was so good. I hope they continue to feud, because it's too good. And Abaddon versus Britt Baker for a hardcore match for the Halloween weekend. That was great. We had a little flashback of that Britt Baker Thunder Rosa match, so it's great. It was a great match. So going to WWE SmackDown, we saw Naomi versus Shayna Baszler for like, I guess, the real this time. This time Sonya Deville was backstage, and she talked briefly about how like it's her. It's all because of her that Naomi's showing any fire up. So she's acting like she's giving Naomi tough love. Yeah, this match, chemistry seems a little off. I didn't particularly enjoy their match last week either, but in this match, the chemistry seems really off. I don't know if you felt that. Naomi was able to pull some really cool moves, especially that move she did in the apron. It was like a springboard, tombstone, DDT, whatever. Like, the commentators did not know what to call it either. But that was really cool. Like, Naomi always had these creative moves. I wish I was able to see a little more from Naomi in this match, because I think that's the whole point. We have to see Naomi like pull all these crazy moves to help us get even more behind her, and to reinforce the fact that she is being underutilized. But the chemistry just seems off. We saw Naomi pick up the win with roll-up, with a surprise roll-up, but the Daddy DeVille comes out and she's like, no, like, this is not a real win because the rope break, whatever. It didn't make any sense. But the match was restarted, and then Naomi had to submit to the clutch by Shayna Baszler. Yeah, I really wish the match went a little better than how it went. I'll say meh. With love, because I really hope this goes well. Now we saw another Xia Li promo for SmackDown, and then Aaliyah was hanging backstage with Jeff Hardy, which was cute, and what Aaliyah was wearing was really cute. Backstage interview with Shotzi Blackheart. And, you know, from last week's shocking heel turn, which I really enjoyed, here she talks a little bit about why that happened. She lost everything, and she even lost the biggest match of her life, and it was all because of Sasha Banks. So she's at the breaking point, and she's ready to run everyone down, even without a tank. So I think she's ditching the tank, which is kind of sad. Because I really want to see Shotzi Blackheart come into WrestleMania with that big tank. Don't you want to see that? I think it'll be great. Yeah, I mean, she looked like a star. Really. Like, she looked like a star before, but here, she had so much intensity with the way she's talking. You can feel the rage in her. She's a star. She's really fun to look at in the ring. And her first promo as a heel, I'm sold. I'm sold that she's gonna have a whole bitch fit. So this is great. It's satisfying. And how can I not mention Hit Row came out and they replaced B-Fab with Sami Zayn. Girl.
Girl.
Alright, that is it for this week's Women's Wrestling Recap. If you haven't seen our cutest new merch, by the way, it's a love child of my two favorite things, Pokemon and WWE. We've got the Pokemon Elite 4 style Sprite 4 Horsewomen t-shirt if you want to click this link right now. And also this weekend, I will be in New York for a big event where I'll be seeing a lot of amazing people from Christy Hemme, The Inspiration, the Deborah, the Cat, potentially AJ Lee. Yeah, I have been talking to WoW team about that. Didn't get the confirmation yet. If you want to let her know that you want to see her on Ring the Bell, please do so on Twitter and Instagram. But yeah, it's going to be a really cool event. If you're in New York, come say hi to me. And if you're not in New York, you can still follow me on Instagram at DSShin and Twitter on Ring the Bell DS. Thank you again for Gemstone Legend. Download the game right now and play with me. You'll probably beat me. And I'll see you next week. Alright, bye!